I want you to picture this. You're just a random Empire peasant, you're walking down the woods somehow, and you see an orc effigy of Gork and Mork. How do you react to this? It's pretty shocking, right? But what's even more shocking is that, oh my god, it's Reptilicus, and we got a battle between Current here, a very cool guy, a YouTuber from Australia who I'm gonna definitely recommend for you to check out. There'll be a link down below. He's playing the High Elves versus Malvi Malvato on the Beastmen. So, what's the High Elven battle plan here? Rely on combined arms to just crush the Beastmen, especially on your cavalry. What's the Beastmen plan in this matchup? Well, let me be honest with you, it's really hard to tell, but it's also known as Moo. Yeah. Funny guy, ain't I? Okay, we're gonna have an infantry clash here right from the beginning. Rangers charging into the Ungors. Rangers are fantastic into this matchup. They're just gonna demolish all the regular Beastmen infantry, but in turn they're getting charged by the chariots who are just running them down. No counterplay, they're destroyed. The Rangers here are chasing another Ungor herd, but they don't see the chariots behind them. The Tuzgor chariots are just mowing them down. This is not good. Tuzgor chariots are disgustingly cost-effective, so you know what's gonna happen. Here we got dogs being caught by horse archers. Not necessarily the best deal, but we got a perfect countercharge at the same time by the Fireborn. As you can see, the chariot is rapidly dropping HP. It lost like 60% already. It's gonna drop down to 80 before it starts like wavering. That chariot unit is basically decommissioned. Taurox is coming out of the woodwork, can't connect quite yet though, and the chariots, are they gonna go into the spears? No, they're going on the other side. Let's go slow-mo, let's take a look on the tactical view. On the right flank, Rangers and Reaver Archers are slowly getting destroyed by Centaurs with great weapons. This is a fight they do not want to be in. If this Lawfren Seaguard unit can actually reach them on time and support them, it'll be fine. Otherwise, yeah. On the left flank, the Illyrian Reavers destroyed the Sons of Goros. Like, they're wavering, they're practically not gonna be worth much now, but Minotaurs with shields are coming in. Meanwhile, when it comes to the center, the High Elves have got this. Rangers will demolish the Younger Herd, and now we wait and see how it plays out. Imrik and his Fireborn are moving into the Centaurs, and they're going to chase them. The Centaurs are just gonna have to run. They cannot hope to stand against the Fireborn. If they get caught even one bit, it's basically all of the Beastmen mobility gone, except the Chariot, which is just plowing through Lawfren Seaguard now. It got stuck, but that doesn't matter for that unit. It's so good, they're just gonna keep on running and damaging. Ungor somehow holding against Rangers, but not for long, because they got a big Taurox here with his brass balls coming right straight in. Oh, look at that. There's so much damage from Taurox. Now he actually needs to start killing. Well, he's flipping, at least. Let's go back to tactical, since the battle is all over the place. Here the Centigors didn't get caught by the Fireborn for some reason, they turned back. Minotaurs with shields are running away from Spearmen. They're probably trying to reposition. Chariots are causing havoc meanwhile, and the center is open. The Great Bray Shaman is finally out of the woodworks now. He's decided to show himself. He's getting destroyed because of his 15 armor, but he gets an Overcast. Oh my god, Overcast Traitorkin. Look how much damage it's doing on the Illyrian horse archers. And we got something else? Oh god, look at that Vile Tide. So much damage. He basically did crazy damage to those guys in 2 spells, but he's routed off the field now. Paper Fin, what you get is what you see with him, because he's not on a chariot. Beastmen are managing to clean up some of the High Elven units, and we got chariots coming right in for the charge on the Lawfren Seaguard. How is this gonna go for them? I don't think they're gonna like this very much. Yeah, they absolutely hated it, as you could see. That was a beautiful charge, and the center is looking very bad for the High Elves. The right flank is fine. The Fireborn and Imrik just wiped the floor with the Centigors, and Minotaurs are coming for a rear charge. Center is holding without any issues. Left flank is holding. That one chariot is not really going to be able to do anything versus that infantry blob over there. Taurox is moving up though. Taurox knows who he needs to fight. If he takes out the leader, it's gonna be over for the High Elven force, but nope, the Fireborn are charging in, and they stop because Taurox, the brass bull, is pretty awesome. And his ability he used there actually did quite fine damage. He popped the Lord of the Dragons on him, so Imrik debuffed him massively. Taurox is a massive killing machine, but with these debuffs, he's not really gonna do much, as you can see. Meanwhile, Sons of Goros trying to do something to Imrik. What they're gonna do is practically nothing. Dogs, they're practically gonna do nothing to Illyrian Reaver Archers. that's it for that side. Chariots barely alive, but Chariots have caused tremendous damage across the battlefield, and this Ungor charge is obviously going to be worthless as the Rangers are going to be able to connect to them and just chop them up into half man, half mutton. Yeah, I don't know. A beautiful Soul Blight popped there. It didn't have that much impact though, because the Minotaurs were already kiting away, but it's something to take note of. And Taurox is just trying to force an engagement here. But I don't think he needs to wait for longer, because the Fireborn are just coming in and they're going to destroy the Centaurs with great weapons. Like, that's a matchup they do not want to take whatsoever. Taurox is stuck in with them. Imrik is coming. The good old high elven Giga Chad is trying to stab Taurox in the butt, but I don't think it's going to be that effective yet. He is losing, however, and we see a Spirit Leech on the Minotaurs. It's going to do some fine damage. They're not that resistant to Spirit Leech, but it is what it is. Taurox is also a fine target to cast it on. We've got the Blob of the Century here on tactical view. The Beastmen are terribly damaged. Their win condition units are basically wavering outside of the Minotaurs, and they just had a Soul Blight popped on them. Massive armor debuff, they're practically naked at this point, and their weapon damage got massively reduced. The Death Mage has been doing some really good supporting work this game. A big fart from Taurox didn't really do much, but his roll attack into the Lawferns was fantastic. And speaking of rolls, we see Chariots just rolling through the Rangers here. Practically no counterplay to that unit, as long as they're used correctly. And Taurox just keeps trying to snipe the Mage of Death. He's popped a Brass Body. Perfect timing because he gets a Spirit Leech casted on him. That's really good for Taurox. He is a tanking machine. And he's also a killing machine, which is gonna run away, and that's gonna be a fantastic victory for the High Elves. Now, before we get into the kill score, it's time to bring back a feature I used to have on my channel all the time back in the day, and then I stopped, but hey, now I'm back and here to stay, so let's take a look at the most critical moments of the battle. What made it go the way it did? Fantastic usage of Chariots allowed the Beastmen to just plow over the High Elven infantry with practically no issues. In this matchup, the High Elves should just dumpster most of the meta Beastmen infantry picks, so having a really good Chariot usage like here definitely helps out a ton. The pretty kick-ass Fireborn performed really well this game. They were crucial in stopping the Chariot Stomp, they controlled the Centaurs. Essentially, they were everywhere they needed to be, and they performed their role quite well. Without them, this battle could have gone different. The Brave Shaman had insane damaging potential this game. One Overcast, Traitor Kin, and Viletide was just decimating the Illyrian Reaver Horse Archers. If the Shaman was used a little bit less recklessly, I'm pretty sure we could have seen a different game outcome, as he was just that impactful in theory. Great usage of Brass Body allowed Taurox to just keep on fighting just about through any engagement, even though he was taking a lot of Spirit Leeches too. However, at the end of the day, the combined approach of the Down Under High Elves managed to secure them a pretty nice victory. Alright, that was a pretty intense battle, so let's take a look. Imrik was fine. Like, you really can't complain about Imrik. Perfect horn timing, he was there where he needed to be, and he was fighting the ideal targets. Like, obviously, you can always go for more, but honestly, Imrik's value was quite fine. Now, let's go to the MVPs, the Fireborn Dragon Princes. This unit is crazy, but you're investing 1800 into this unit. It's so hard to get a value back with them, especially in battles like these where you have so many high priority targets, but they were fantastic against Chariots. They didn't quite eliminate them, but they did do massive HP damage. They absolutely destroyed the Centaurs, and they did great against the Minotaurs as well. Fireborn, if used correctly, will practically solo carry a battle, and this is what to an extent happened here. Death Mage, MVP, Debuffer, Spirit Leeches sadly didn't do much. Taurox was good with his Brass Body timing, and also the Minotaurs are not the best target, they're still fine, but damage-wise nothing. Support-wise, great job with the Soul Blights. Spearmen and Rangers have absolutely no trouble standing toe-to-toe with Ungers. If anything, you saw that they demolished them, even though the Rangers in turn got crippled beyond belief by the Chariots. Lawfern Seaguard actually did great. Like, this is a combined arms army, essentially. Everything in this army performed fantastic. Everything, even this one unit of Illyrians that didn't do much, doesn't really matter because his friends are practically paying for him. Everything in the High Elf army worked together, and as we can see, it was great success. Now, on the Beastman side, Torox, honestly, damage value could have been much better. He tanked a lot, but that's about it really. Torox didn't really have an impact there. Same for the Bray Shaman. Now, I think this battle could have gone differently, or at least would have been even closer, if the Shaman wasn't used so recklessly. He was out in the open, he did fantastic damage to the cavalry, but imagine if he didn't just get insta-routed. Imagine if he could cast one more Overcast, Traitorkin, or Vile Tide. Could have actually been deadly game-breaking for the High Elves. Let's not talk about Ungors because, you know, Ungors... Now, Spear and Shield Centaurs did fantastic this battle, just chasing down light units. Chariots more than paid for themselves, as you can see. Even the unit that practically got wiped off instantly by the Dragonborn did great. Like, what can you do, right? What can you do? Centaurs with great weapons, sadly not much. Even Sons of Goros, it is just a waste of money. Back in the day, Centaurs with great weapons used to be, pun intended, and terrible, great, but now it's kind of a weird pick. In these matchups, they're nowhere coming close to winning anymore. Dogs did fine, honestly, it's just okay, and the Minotaurs not much value. Sadly, shielded Minotaurs into this matchup are a good idea, but they didn't really come close to paying for themselves. What I would have done here is maybe bring, if I'm bringing shielded ones, bring Butchers of Kalkengard, and the replacement money you can use on pigs, because pigs are just like doing the same job but cheaper, and in some cases much more effective, but it is what it is. Great game to both players. Don't forget to check out Current Year's YouTube, and until the next time, well hey, stick around, we got a lot more content coming right in.